Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome y'all to Baseball Beyond Borders webinar series. These webinars are a way to stay connected to community while highlighting life beyond the foul lines. We will continue to offer our webinar series in alignment with our Moving Beyond 12 nine-inning framework that connects student athletes' passions to their academic future. Baseball Beyond Borders welcomes you to our village today. We are joined by three BBB alums to talk about life beyond borders. These three individuals joined us back in the days when we were Chaffee Inner City and were catalysts, right, really in the launch of our program model. I want to welcome you all to Kendall Dillingham, Elijah Hardy, and Teray Jones. Welcome to the webinar, fellas.
Glad to be here, Buki.
Thank you.
So this discussion, all right, this discussion will also be facilitated by two brothers, man, that have been rocking with us since the beginning and shaped the model we are today. I'm talking about these two key influencers, E.C. Parker and Rick Pitts. Fellas, what's happening?
What's up, Book? How you doing, man?
Good.
Nothing to it, Boop.
So should you have questions for the panel, we ask that you use the chat feature and we will work to accommodate all questions in the time available. For those joining us on Facebook Live, you too can also join us via or have comments in the comment box. So we're glad you guys are here, man. And I think this is an important time, even as we talk about kind of life beyond borders, right? And where we go, obviously, I do want to just say an acknowledgement or the pain that we experienced in the loss of DeAndre Roberts, who was senselessly murdered. Don't know the situation and circumstances. He was a king. He was one of y'all's teammates. And I know that hit y'all pretty hard. And it hit us as coaches hard to lose someone that early. Knowing that that's a peer and someone you played with. And this is the reason why we do what we do, right? It's trying to move and change the trajectory of the life outcomes of individuals. It's just unfortunate he no longer is able to be with us. So our heart goes out to his mother and father, as well as the rest of his family as they grieve, as they lay him to rest. So fellas, I want you guys to introduce yourselves, man. Talk about kind of what you're up to, man, and what's happening. So Teray, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. My name is Teray Jones, and I've been living out in Portland now for the last 2 years. I work at this company called Hitachi, and right now I'm a focused ion beam engineer. And I graduated school 2 years ago. I went to school at Willamette University. Tried to play some baseball down there, but ended up playing football. And just been down at Oregon for a bit, trying to get back up to Seattle, but it's hard. It's expensive. So.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, T. Yeah. My name is Elijah Hardy. Lately, I've been going to school. I've been going to University of Washington, Bothell to finish up my degree in media and communications. I just finished my spring quarter yesterday. With COVID and everything going on, it was kind of a hectic quarter, but I was able to finish out strong. I should be making the dean's list again, like how I did my previous winter quarter. Before UW-Bothell, I was at Seattle Central Community College for about 2.5 years, got my associates, and then went over to UW-Bothell. I work at Molly Moon's Ice Cream. I've been at Molly Moon's Ice Cream for coming up on 3 years now in a couple weeks. And with coronavirus going on, I have been unemployed since March, but I've been collecting unemployment and trying to hold it down at home for my mom and everything like that, and just doing my best in school, and then I should be going back to work within these next couple weeks in these new opening phases. So yeah.
What's up?
I'm Kendall. Grew up in Seattle, now I live in Dallas, Texas. Worked for Louis Vuitton. Out of high school, I went to Grace Harbor College. I played baseball. Then I went over to Eastern Washington for 2 years. Didn't quite finish up school. I got 3 quarters left, but coming up in the fall, I should hopefully be going back to school and finishing it up, and then I should be good to go. Louis Vuitton just a pit stop for me. It's a good little experience. First real job that I can really say I've had, so it's a great experience. So besides that, just hopefully finishing up school and continuing to grow up. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. So fellas, you can hear, and for those that are watching, 3 young men, right? 3 Black men at that, really doing what they can to really overcome the adversity and obstacles that they face. Obviously, through pivots and roadblocks, they still were able to achieve and are still in the process of achieving. So I commend that. And Hardy, we all know the story, right? So, just to even see that, and I think you shared a little bit about that story at our breakfast event that took place
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
You were also the recipient of the Gert Hauser Moving Beyond 12 Award. The year
Yes.
after, Teray Jones was the recipient of the Gert Hauser Moving Beyond 12 Scholarship Award. So there might be a pattern here. KD, you might be next, man. I don't know. But if you are interested in pursuing those final 3 quarters, I think it fits just because of the work that you're doing. Teray, bro, you're doing something that I think I told you when you called me and said you're graduating with a degree in physics, and you told me what was your project name? It was something you said, bro, and you just went over my head. So I need you to repeat that for me.
A quantum analog for hydrodynamic analog for quantum tunneling or something like that. I got to go back and look at the name of my thesis, but it was just looking at like some weird particle stuff and trying to understand it at the macro scale because it's too small to see and understand, at that scale. So just bringing the nano scale to the light type stuff. So,
bro, yeah, you threw me for a loop when you said that. I just had to stop. I just like,
yeah, I use it a little bit at work now, actually, with the tool that I use and stuff. So it's like, it matches up and stuff, and it's just nice being able to stay in the same field as you got your degree, and instead of having to veer off too much. So.
And it seemed like most of y'all. So KD, you also went to school, and so when you went to school, you was at Grace Harbor, then transitioned over to Eastern Washington University. You were studying communications, right?
Correct. Sports journalism was going to be my main focus. But yeah, fortunately, came down to Texas after my grandma died, stayed with my mom, and just been focused on, taking care of what I got to take care of down here, working, playing softball. That's about it.
Yeah.
Who you picked up the softball game, KD?
Yeah, I did.
Right. So.
And then Hardy, you're doing something that you actually are wanting to be passionate about, correct? When it comes to media and communications.
Yeah, it's more so still trying to figure out what I really want to do. But this major that I'm in, I know it's something that I'm actually good at. I was never great at the math and sciences aspect of school, but I was always good at English. I love being around people. I love talking to people. I was thinking as of recently, maybe trying to pursue a job as a publicist, or maybe something to do with, like, as KD said, like sports journalism, or doing something I can still be around sports and baseball and all the other games that I love to do, and kind of integrate my mind in those type of things, and just, continue to grow and learn what I want to do. I've been taking a bunch of different classes so far in my 2 first quarters at the University of Washington, so it's kind of giving me a different aspect of the world. And I'm taking, like, for instance, I took an art class this past quarter. I've never taken an art class before and ended up really liking it. I took an environmental humanities course, so I'm just kind of just testing the waters in different things, and then by the end of my degree, I was kind of put it together and then go off and onto the next phase. So.
Yeah, just having a plan, setting things up, and just putting
exactly.
things in
And it's also great transferring from a community college, and then because you're already set into your major once you get to the university of your choosing. You don't have to apply for a major.
Yeah. And that's a huge ticket out, because most of the time, when we come out of high school and stuff, everybody's like, you got to get into it 4 year, you got to do this, you got to do that. But I mean, the finance aspects against all of us. So, spending the first 2 years at CC and then going over.
Yeah, and Seattle Central, it's a college now. You can get a 4-year degree there. It's not just
and
it was great. So for any kids who may be watching, or just to pass on information, the community college route is not a bad route. Everyone goes through life at their own pace, and then the older that I get, the more I realize that you can't base where someone else is in their life on where you are at in your life. Then you'll just get too messed up and thrown off course. So I'm very proud to be where I am today from being where I was. So,
yeah. And KD, you kind of went the same journey, starting off at Grace Harbor. Obviously, you played some baseball there prior to transitioning over to Eastern Washington. How was that experience?
Grace Harbor is a little bit different. It's a more lower income white town. Most of my team was local kids, so there's a little bit of favoritism that was going on. Kind of killed my love for the game, but I made a lot of great friends. It was a nice place to be, but I definitely wish I would have took a little bit more advantage of my education while I was there. And I wish I wouldn't have took it so much of a heart. I mean, so much to heart, the whole favoritism thing, because that's kind of how it is when kids grow up in a specific system and their coach becomes the college coach. And yeah, so I just wish I would have worked a little bit harder and not have tried to play the woe is me role. So
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good experience, but transferring over to Eastern Washington, it was a big difference. I didn't play any sports there, but had a lot of friends there. Got to witness a lot of great football games at Eastern Washington University, and yeah, now I'm in Dallas, loving my new home. Yeah.
Good. EU and Pitch, you got anything for him?
Sure. Yeah. I've always wanted to ask, and I know, we were together almost, man, it's crazy. Time flies. That was 8-9 years ago when you guys were playing for us. It was close to that. I know, Teray, I think you were playing for the 14U team or the 13U team with us at one point. So yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah.
That was a big one. That was a while ago.
Yeah. I would like to know what were some of the things you learned, or some of your favorite experiences when you were part of the program? And that's a question for all of you guys.
Man, just getting like that opportunity, that one-on-one time, that you can't get anywhere else. A lot of other kids can go on, those $3,000-$4,000 teams and get like hitting coach, pitching coach, all the different types of coaches. And, we got the same opportunity. I feel like we just got a lot of love. Anytime you had a question, anytime, you need anything, you guys are always there, and you guys have the experience. You guys have played at the, the higher levels and stuff. So for it to come from that place, rather than like, oh, I've read this online or I've seen this video and I can tell you what it's kind of like, you guys had firsthand experience, and we were able to, benefit from that. And really, you guys are always open and able to give us like the answers we needed, whether it be technical, whether it be in life or whatever. So you guys are just always available in there, and it was just really nice. So.
Right, and to build off what Teray just said, just the investment that you guys put into us, the family aspect that you guys put into us, a lot of us didn't grow up with a father figure in our life, and you guys filled that void, and now y'all were coaches, fathers, now y'all friends, what I'm saying? Now we're not that close in age, but, we're getting up there, what I'm saying? But no, and then just, it's everything you guys did for us, man, just introducing us to your families and your family's families, and just the village that we created, and the trips that we went on, Ephrata, Puerto Rico, California, those are some places I like being like a young, not like a kind of poor Black kid. It's like, I would never thought I would have ever gone to Puerto Rico to play baseball, to be able to pitch in Puerto Rico, what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You guys expanded our mind to different parts of the world, and you guys really, like, you watched us grow up, I think that was one of the most impactful and important things about Chafee, like, you took inner city kids and you brought them to this whole new world of opportunities. So, and even now to this day, we're still, you guys are all of our mentors, our families. So it's very, very special.
One thing for me that I always appreciate about Chafee is growing up as a young Black man that played baseball, I didn't really have coaches that looked like me or anything like that. So when I moved back to Seattle from Texas originally, I always thought it was so cool that I got to play for y'all, because I didn't really get to experience anyone that looked like me in the game of baseball. And so that was big for me. And then traveling, the first trip we went to California, rest in peace DeAndre once again. He was with us for that trip, had some very legendary moments as a team there. Then we went to Ephrata. That was also a great experience. Then all rounded off in Puerto Rico. I'll never forget the trips, the times I had with my friends. I remember just throwing the ball on the beach. I thought like nothing could be better than, doing what I love on the beach, looking at the ocean. So always remember that, and I'll pass it on to my kids, and hopefully, one day I'll be y'all, and I'll be the coach, and I'll be passing on my love for the game to the next generation.
Yeah, I got first let me say I'm proud of the young men you guys have become and are becoming. And we got such great memories with you guys. That's why when you guys mention certain trips or whatever, Mibook and EC, we just smile, because there's so many memories from all those different places. We could have tons of stories from each and every trip with you guys. You guys are probably our most talked about group to this day. We talk the teams, they don't know you guys, but they always hear the names Hardy and what the things he did to Ray, KD, how he called the ball. There's so many things. But the question I have is there a lesson or something that we said or somebody in the program said or showed you guys that you use in your life today? Something that you took with you that you found useful?
Yeah, I can answer that first. Yeah, just always believe in yourself. You know, everyone knew I always had a problem hitting the baseball. I had all the utilities, all the foundation, you know, but I never, you know, I can never make that contact, you know, and that was so much more of a mental thing for me, not believing in myself, people telling me I could be great, but I wasn't the one seeing it myself, you know. And now I realize that if I could go back and I just utilize what you guys said and Coach Nelson said, Tiger, everyone, you know, like, and believe in myself more and have that confidence, you know, it could have came full circle, but I don't use not being able to hit the baseball back then, you know, as a looking back and like, you know, like a thing to kind of like be mad about myself. I'm using that as a way to use that in my life going forward, you know, to find that confidence in my life and just believing in myself, you know. So that's my answer for that.
Yeah, I guess me touching on it, it was just, you know, the fact that, like, but baseball's kind of frustrating for me too as well. I didn't play to my fullest, what in my head felt like was my fullest ability, and I used to butt heads with Pitts all the time because I felt the most comfortable with him, and I could let it out and just really, you know, say how I was feeling or whatever, say how I was feeling about the game or whatever outside stuff, and you know, it was like he was real open to letting me be myself in front of him and stuff. Most of the time, whether it be good, bad, or in between and all that stuff. I think just the openness on the team is really big because it like allows you to grow outside of just baseball. It allows you to grow as a man or whatever. Because, you know, like Elijah said, he grew up without certain father figures or whatever. You guys are the father figures. So I don't know. We just like even the little conversations or whatever you guys don't even think about probably the next practice or even the next day. That's the stuff we hold on to because it's like a part of our development and stuff at that age. So, you know, just a little stuff, and then allowing us to be as open as possible with any of you guys.
I agree with that about the father figure. Me and my dad, we're good, but I always viewed y'all as like father figures for me growing up because it was mostly me and my mom throughout my life. So I always appreciated that. One thing I really took away from Chafee is the value of friendship, not just as a team that we had, but including my coaches, because y'all three showed that the game of baseball growing up as African-American males, how you can pass down. And, you know, that's something I look forward to doing. I just saw a message pop up on the bottom. It said, do I plan on coaching in the future? Yeah, I definitely look forward to giving back to my community, passing on the game, and hopefully the game of baseball used to be a lot greater than it is now. So hopefully that can become, you know, there'll be a lot more people that look like us playing the game of baseball. Yeah.
Right, just to build off of what Kendall just said, it's crazy. You know, you never ever see a lot of African American men playing the sport of baseball. You know, and that's what I think, Boogie, I think that was one of the first things I've ever heard you say, or that's one thing that's like just drilled into my mind about Chafee and your, you know, and your imagination for Chafee and your love for Chafee is that to get African American young men to get into baseball, you know, and you use your love of baseball and your passion of baseball and your knowledge and pass it on to all of us. You know, it's not saying that we can't play football, basketball, whatever. It's just that something else we can try on, you know, go down a different route to you know, to express how we feel or to get our angers or insecurities, you know, and or whatever. Because, you know, it's unfortunate, even in the league, you barely see any African American professional baseball players, you know, and it's just that just being with this certain group of people, like everyone on Chafee, you know, those are all my friends for the rest of my life. There's some guys I haven't talked to in 5 or 6 years, but you know, if I ever see them, connect with them on like social media or in person, I'll always say what's up to them, you know, especially like these two guys right here. You know, I grew up with Kendall and Trey, but that's just something that's very, very special to me.
So, well, let me just put it out there, man. Hardy, you can hit a ball a long ways. And we witnessed one of those balls get hit at Brighton.
Yeah.
Did that thing take off?
It did.
But also, so let's talk about this. And I don't want to get into details of the Puerto Rico trip. We are live. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed yourself while you were there.
Yes, sir.
And I'll say this: Tiger is not able to join us tonight. Tiger extends his love, man. He's obviously holding down at Emerald City Fish and Chips.
Yeah.
He was influential.
10-piece.
He is a part of this legacy that is Chaffee Inner City. But talk about your experience. And Hardy, just talk about the Puerto Rico experience of playing baseball down there. Hardy, we had to put you on the mound, man. That was your first time.
Man. That was just that experience of Puerto Rico was just mind-blowing. You know, we were in a totally different place, you know, like we were 16, 17-year-olds, I think. And then just getting there was a movie. I think we had to take 3 flights. You know, we had to do it the cheapest way, you know, which is cool. I you know what I'm saying? We had to we did a car wash fundraiser, which was amazing. And then getting to Puerto Rico was just I
Turn
don't
it down. I'm on a call, guys. Please.
Oh, sorry. To be honest, thinking back, I don't even think most of our minds were on baseball back then. You know, we were in Puerto Rico. Like, what? It was crazy, you know. And then actually getting to the stadium and being able to, and we played in that huge stadium. You know, felt like we were pros. You know, playing against these kids who probably thought, you know, these guys coming up from Seattle don't know a thing about baseball. You know, Puerto Rico, they, you know, eat, breathe, sleep baseball. You know, but we definitely give them a good run for their money. You know, and just being down there, and then this was amazing. And like, I always think to myself, like, I'll never probably ever go to Puerto Rico again with that exact same group of people. And that's why it's so special to me and holds a very special place in my heart, you know, because that was just a time, that was like a tipping point in my life, you know. So I think that was the last trip that we were all able to take together too. So
yeah.
And then pitching in Puerto Rico, man, that was just and I love y'all for that, you know. That was just crazy, you know. But yeah, there's other details about Puerto Rico that I'll keep on lock. But
and mind you, these guys are all getting scouted by the Kansas City Royals, the Blue Jays.
Yeah, man, it was
some whatever teams. These dudes, we had the guy looked like Miguel Cabrera. He had 4 home runs in 4 games, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. So and these guys are touching high 80s, low 90s or whatever.
Yeah, no, you played against some prospects for sure, you know, and that's just, you know, and then this
ramping out there. And if anybody goes out to Puerto Rico, make sure you drink your fluids and your Gatorades. His wife had to help me.
ramping up. We were all crazy.
Yeah, you know, and then even all the stuff that we did outside of baseball, you know, like we went to the gondolas, and sorry, that's my dog barking.
Yeah.
My bad. We did a whole bunch of stuff. So this experience in Puerto Rico is just life changing, you know. And I'll never ever forget all the memories that we have made. So yeah.
So I you know, all 3 of y'all played when we first started, right? It wasn't the greatest of times. You know, we didn't win no games. I mean, we weren't out there trying to win games, or at least we were. But it was a long shot. I remember even hearing us even coaches question themselves, like, are we helping or hurting?
Yeah.
More than anything.
Well,
but talk about the resilience, right? Ray, you played on a couple teams that I don't think scratched the surface or didn't even make it past the 5th inning half the time.
Yeah.
Talk about
you look at the basis of it and just taking a bunch of inner city, like not necessarily just black kids, but predominantly, right? And trying to get them all on a team and win a bunch of games. A lot of people look from the outside in and think it's a far-fetched idea. So once we kind of looked at ourselves and we're like, we do have the skill. We're all on different high school teams or whatever. We got the ability here. Let's kind of do it. It just took a lot of time to believe in yourself and try to be like, okay, we can do this group together. We know people's, you know, their strengths and weaknesses. You know, we're gonna, you know, use it. Like we had to play it like chess basically, because it's not like we got all these kids that have all this hitting experience, all this pitching experience and stuff. We had to use like multiple people. Like we didn't have one go-to pitcher. A lot of people pitch, so it's like, you know, bringing all of our skills together and being open and being like, yo, this is how we're gonna win. And eventually we got to that kind of a path and stuff. And I think it just took a lot of resilience from you guys' perspective, because each year, you know, you don't got a winning team. It's like you said, like, is it good or bad? Are we really doing it or not? And then once you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're like, all right. And I mean, look where it is now. Like the organization has completely changed since we even were there, and it doesn't feel like that long ago. But
yeah.
Man, we lost a lot of games, but sure have fun losing. That was the best time. That was the best time I ever in a game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think getting to them younger and then getting people like, you know, set up and come to something consistent will allow them to. It'll just be like a foundation for them to be like, okay, this is my hitting coach. I know I can take this from Pitts for outfielding. He's going to get me in the infield and boot the hitting or whatever, you know. And if you start younger and stuff, like how you guys have it set up, I think you'll get those like diamonds in the rough type guys where they just pop up and you're like, yeah, it just clicked because they got to them early enough. So
yeah, one thing that I was really proud of with that group, being that we had you guys for a few years, was that it started off rough, and yes, our goal at the beginning was, man, let's play 7 innings today.
Yeah,
and let's not get 10 run out of here. And toward the end, our goal was, man, let's go win this tournament. And it was doable. It wasn't unrealistic. And I just want to applaud you guys for putting in that work and continuing to believe in yourself, because it would have been easy to come and that first year be discouraged and just give up and say, I'm done. I don't want to play. This ain't fun, you know.
Yeah.
But you guys stuck to it, man. And at the end, we were actually winning games. Guys was hitting home runs. It was an entertaining brand of baseball, man. So I just want to tip my cap to you guys for having the resolve and the resiliency to hang in there and keep working and see the fruits of it at the end.
Yeah.
Kind of to touch off what he was saying, yes, we lost a lot of games, but one thing I really did learn is how we lost, or how to take a loss, more to say, because we really had to put the work in towards the final years we were playing to get to where we wanted to be. So when we started to really work at it, knew what we really wanted to do out there and go win some games. It was beautiful when we were actually winning and all having fun. We all could see on each other's faces like how happy we were to just be playing and be together. And just the game of baseball, I mean, to me, it kind of symbolizes life. It is like, for me, moving base to base to accomplish my goals and stuff like that. And, you know, everything, like, not everything's perfect and everything takes hard work. Not everything just falls in your lap. So I just really see baseball as like how I see my life. It is like moving from station to station to try to get to where I really want to be in life.
Yeah, there's a lot of psychological. It's like, I swear the game's like 50-50 psychological and physical. Like, that's the thing I had to work. I was getting out of my own head or get out of a slump. So, yeah, but yeah, just taking everything into the mental aspect and the physical. You got to balance them both. I think, I mean, even when you look at it as to the individual, you guys are student athletes. You got to do just as much homework in school as you do with the sports aspect. So it's just balancing and understanding and stuff and listening to you guys and really just taking. You guys aren't just trying to BS us. You guys are really just trying to teach us some lessons and show us, you know, what's good and stuff. So.
Right. And I think right now having this panel, you know, and being able to speak to the younger generation is very, very timely, especially with everything going on right now in the world. With the, the murder of George Floyd, all the other, African-American people who have been murdered by police, you know, and just to have you guys as a platform to go and talk to. I know you and I talked for a good minute the other day after I told you about DeAndre, you know, and just being out at the protests and the rallies that I've been to. And it's just really about community right now, and you know, and supporting one another, you know, and being there for your brothers, you know, because when I look at these two guys and like all my friends and like all your players, you know, those are a bunch of George Floyds or Trayvon Martins, you know what I'm saying? Like that could have been any of us, you know what I'm saying? So just trust in the process, you know, and just do your thing and, you know, stick to what you know, and, you know, don't ever try to be like something that don't ever try to like go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just stay on course. And you utilize the people that are in your corner and that are there for you.
Yeah.
What's up? Pitch, you got any a question for him? Another one or?
Yeah, I got another question. We got tenure now. We got a lot of younger kids coming up in the program. A lot of them aren't as familiar with me for sure because I've been busy lately, but just not even familiar with our program and our coaching style. What advice would you give some of the young ones that may be listening or the parents may be listening on this call? What advice would you give them about our program and our coaching style?
What advice? Man, just setting up goals for yourself, whether it be in the school or whether it be on the field. Set goals up for yourself. If you just want to come in and be like, oh, I got to go through batting practice, or oh, I got to go through the outfield drills. Like, take every rep and everything to heart. And if you're not doing it right, figure out how to fix it, get it done, and get better. Don't just kind of come in. It's not like you guys aren't a daycare. You guys aren't a camp. It's not here just to check in and check out. It's to get better and stuff. So set up goals for yourself. And whether they be unrealistic or not, set up goals and try to see how close you can get to all of them and get better. I want my batting average to be this, or I don't want to drop any balls this year or whatever, and just do it, go after it. So,
my advice would be to listen. Listening to your coaches, listening to your elders, to your peers can be one of your greatest qualities, and it can really help you out in the long run. And that could really just help your game get better, help your mind get better, and then just don't do what someone else is doing because they think it's cool or whatnot. Stick to your roots and stick to what you like to do, and stay on course as much as possible. There's going to be a lot of people in your life that come in and they're doing a whole bunch of different things. And if you don't like that, you don't got to do it just because it's cool or because your bro is doing it or whatever, and that could lead you down the wrong path. That could steer you off your course. In my life, I've dug a lot of holes and ditches in myself that I'm still trying to get out of right now, and I'm 24 years old, and I'm still trying to figure out life as it is right now, and I know, and so are these guys, so are my other friends in my life. So, that's like I said earlier, everyone goes down this life. Life is not straight, there's a lot of twists and turns to it, so just do what you love, follow your heart, and just, be the best that you can be. So, yeah.
Advice or feedback I would give to parents who are thinking about putting their kids in baseball beyond borders. I would say just know that to me, the program just symbolizes love for the community and what we want it to be in the future. So if you want your kid to be about a part of something successful, even if it may not be successful in the winning terms, if you want to be a part of a family, if you want to learn the game, if you want to learn life, it's a great group to be a part of, and you'll have some great experiences regardless.
All right.
That's what's up. I know we've come in close to our time, so I want to transition us into this lightning round that we typically do with the webinar. I know, EC, you may have to take off just because we also got one of our young kings graduating, moving on to the 8th grade. It's actually his nephew. So I want to also be respectful so you get that opportunity, man, and wish that black man some success and give him our love.
I sure will. Before I go, just quickly, I always tell people this story, man. One of my proudest moments coaching and being part of this family was when Elijah Hardy called me one day and said, "Coach, can I put you down as a reference for this job?" And I said, "Man, with the hurry upness, please do hurry up and do that." That was, man, it was awesome that you felt that highly of me and that you knew that I would represent you well. And I appreciate you. And it was just cool to see you grow individually and to see all you guys grow individually. But regardless of what's happened on the field, man, that is one of the proudest moments that I have being a part of this program.
All love. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Coach.
You guys have a good one. I'll catch up with you guys soon.
You too. All
right, later.
So now we got the lightning round. So I'm gonna ask these questions, and I want just one of you will go, and we'll just start with Teray, and we'll work our way. So Teray, Kendall, and then Hardy. Who's your greatest baseball player of all time, Teray?
All time. I would now just say Mookie Betts. Just as a newer, off the top of the head type player, the guy that does all the sports. I just feel like I relate most to him. And then, he's an outfielder and stuff. So I'll just go Mookie Betts.
Okay. What's your most memorable moment with Baseball Beyond Borders or Chafee Inner City?
Chafee Inner City had to be Puerto Rico trip and all the experience and growing closer to you guys and seeing all the people down there. It's a whole other culture. And I don't know, like Elijah said, it's real eye-opening. And we'd probably never do that, again until we're in our 30s or whatever. So.
All right. KD, greatest baseball player of all time?
In my opinion, it's going to be a asterisk next to it, but I would say Barry Bonds. Just because this combination of speed, power. Before the steroids, he was a bad man on the diamond, and growing up, I was a big fan of Barry Bonds. Or King Griffey would be my second best one as a black man. I would say King Griffey.
All right. Most memorable moment with Chafee or BBB?
Fort Silicon Park, we won a championship, and I was with my best friends. We was having a blast. So I always remember that. We won a tournament. We was taking team pictures. We didn't win too many of them, but that one was a very special day. That was a very special day.
That's right. All right, Hardy, man, greatest baseball player of all time.
I'll say the kid, man. I can't believe no one put him as the first pick, man. Ken Griffey Jr., man. 24, number 24. And then
greatest moment.
I've been pondering this, and probably when I made the whole team run when we were in California, because I did something that I was supposed to do, and we had to run from the hotel all the way to practice. It was in the rain, I think, in California. And I think that was just something that another great story that you guys can tell, in the future, can hold on to.
It was conditioning.
Don't leave out the part that you didn't have to run. You watched your teammates run.
Y'all were trying to turn my teammates against me.
No, we weren't trying to. We were just making that example. That you got to do. You follow the rules.
I love it.
You don't follow the rules, you have consequences to the rules. You gotta, and the teammates will hold you way more accountable than the coaches will.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what that lesson was for. You can't leave that part out. That's important.
I can't. You're right.
Because now we don't have to say nothing to you. So now when you guys ain't following the rules, your teammate is gonna elbow you and be like, man, you're gonna make us run.
Yeah.
I was hot about it. I don't have to say. I was upset.
Yeah. We enjoyed ourselves. So now the last lightning round question for all of y'all. Mm-hmm. What would be your 2020 walk-up song?
Kendall.
I would think about that.
Outstanding by the Gap Band.
All right, bro.
AB with the old soul, man. You ain't changed, bro.
No, walk-up song? I don't know. I got to take a second to think about that one.
Me too. I got to take a second.
Man, how long you got to take, man? It's just a walk-up song.
All right. How about Drake and Future, Life is Good?
Okay.
That's cool.
Hey, I like it.
I
can't remember. I go with something smooth now. It just put me in a mindset where I'm more relaxed. I don't know. I go with this dude. His name's Yusef Days, and it's called For My Ladies or something like that. It's some smooth stuff. So I can put my mindset just so I can be relaxed. I don't know. Whenever I went up to the plate, I'd always be tense and in my head. So just something to chill, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what's up, fellas, man. And I want to make sure we be respectful of time. I want to thank you, man, KD, Hardy, Teray, for sharing your experience, man, being able to impart wisdom into some of our young kings and those that are watching and listening. Man, much love, EC, Rick Pitts, man, for your leadership and dedication that you have shown over the years, man, to love and nurture our Black babies into strong and courageous Black men. The three of you, man, and countless others that have come through our program, man, has blessed us as coaches. We've learned so much from you. We've matured. Even as we take some of those principles we learned or we instilled in y'all into our own children, right? I think it goes beyond just the concept of, man, we really and honestly, authentically love you guys, man. And I think we continuously tell you that. And if no one tells you that now, we're telling you that now, that we love you.
Love you too.
So we again appreciate that for those listening. These are your up and coming kings, man. Be sure to be on the lookout for them. If you, when we complete this, there's a survey that'll pop up at the end of your screen for those on the webinar. We ask that you complete that. We will also insert the link into the Facebook comments, just so you can talk. We want to learn how we're doing, right? We want to know how we can support too. So let us know, because there's obviously more Black babies out there that want to play baseball, and we want to make sure that we give them that experience. So stay connected to us on our social media platform at BBB Inner City to stay up to date on future events, man. Make sure y'all stay safe, healthy, and hopeful, and we'll see you at the ballpark soon, man. You fellas, man, take care.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All
right.
Just use this as a resource too. Any of the guys now, or any of the alumni, you know, as more guys go out of the program, that just builds a bigger community for people to pull on. So we're all a resource now, just like you guys are a resource for us. We're a resource now, whether it be school, sports, whatever. And you know, just direct messages. You don't got to do the social media. Just hit us up. So
yeah.
That's what's up, fellas.
Whatever you guys need.
Lopez sent a message, said he love you guys.
Yeah,
Love you too.
I was in the comments on that.
Yes,
Sweet savory nuts.
nuts, man.
love you too, coach.
That out of context.
Yeah.
I can see
All
it.
right, man.
All right, y'all.
Fellas.
All right.
Take it easy.
Love y'all.
All right, coach.
All right.